Hi, I'm State Representative Tom Mehaffie from the 106th District, and I'm here today with Russell Redding, our Secretary of Ag. Russell, great to see you again.
It's good to see you. Happy Farm Show. Happy New Year.
This is great. I've been here Saturday. I've been here yesterday with my family, and now today with you. Of course, it's Farm Show. We have snow.
Hey, it's January. It's Pennsylvania's Farm Show.
Right?
You're going to get some
it
snow.
Is. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So we got 109th.
Yeah.
Can't believe that. Unbelievable. 109 years and just fantastic. And this, yesterday walking around with my family, this place was packed. I mean, you couldn't move yesterday. And I don't want to say it's all about the milkshakes, but it was a pretty big line.
It's about food at least, right? For sure.
Yeah. So this year's is what? Powering PA, right?
Powering Pennsylvania.
Okay.
Yeah. And we have been thinking about each year to get a theme, that sort of allows us to sort of tell a story, but also allows the exhibitors to sort of find connections to that. So you see it in the butter sculpture with the dairy industry. You go up here to the mushroom industry, and they're connected. The apple guys are across the aisle here. Everything's got a connection to the powering piece. We think of it in food, but we also have the manpower piece, the horsepower component, the social aspect. So I think it's a great theme. It's a great opportunity for us just to talk about the importance of ag to Pennsylvania. Many folks don't always make the connection. This is all Pennsylvania hardwoods, right? 100%.
They did a great job.
Billion-dollar industry in the state, a lot of jobs. So
I don't think people really realize what we have in the vast areas, and we're so diverse when it comes down to the different parts of our state. It's kind of like the country, right? The east, west, and north, south, and it really is different areas, no matter where you go and what you do. But it is a beautiful state, and we're really lucky to be part of it. I think.
Well, the diversity is
our officials.
Exactly, and the diversity is our strength. Right, you've got the hardwoods industry, you've got the mushroom industry, you've got dairy spread across, you've got these beautiful productive lands, and that has really been important to the ag economy in Pennsylvania. Is that diversity? It's not all about corn, soybeans. Love them, important to us, but you need all of this other stuff. 1,100 farm markets, more young farmers under the age of 35 than any other state in the nation.
Yeah. It is, and it's something special. Now we saw the butter sculpture. Right? You got a good look at it. The first day we were here. Cutting the ribbon. Put a lot of time in it. They talked about a digester, right? The first time you see that, I thought, well, maybe that's why they're powering PA, but it is a different way of powering, right? I mean, it's what the farmers are using. They're using their own, own resources to power their farms. If it's solar, if it's methane, whatever that may be. I think that's something great, and I think what we're doing now, and all the things that are going on with farms and the new technologies are really taking us to a new spot in Pennsylvania.
Well, the technology is a big part of the Powering PA story, right? We're going to celebrate that this week. But the digester piece is a good example where we have a few of those digesters on farms that are taking both the manure that they produce to produce power and capture the methane and heat our homes and light our industries. They're taking in food waste as well to sort of supplement that energy generation. But we can do a lot more. We can do a lot with community digesters. So that's part of the story, and we think that's a really important part of the energy portfolio of the future is how do we bring the farm components into the conversations about Pennsylvania's energy needs. So it's a big story and an important need, and hopefully a revenue generation for those farms as well.
Right. And a cost saver, right?
And a cost saver.
We're looking at doing costs, so we're going to talk a little bit about animal health, the things that are important, not a cost saver, right? Very expensive. Was with Penn Vet, they're here, had a good opportunity to talk to some of the new veterinarians coming out. 2 of them are going to be large animal vets, others are going to be small animal vets. That's an important part. We talked about last year, Martz's game farm got hit. High path, flu. Horrible situation, but you know what? Mike and his family bounced back because of your help and our help at the, as far as what we do and the things that we're able to do at the General Assembly to help them out financially, and then on top of it, the federal government, what they're doing for it too. So I know that's metamorphed into something a little different right now. We're talking about dairy cattle, but you want to talk a little bit about what's going on with this high path and where it's changed.
Yeah, well, first of all, thank you. I mean, I think your point out of what the family has done, and I give them a lot of credit because it's devastating that no one sees this coming. Nobody wants it. They get hit on Christmas Day or Eve, right? So ruins things. But having been there with you recently and just seeing how they've sort of snapped back, and their appreciation for both what the community, how they responded, how the legislature and the state responded. But the real standout in that, I think, is this recovery fund that the state established a couple of years ago, recognizing that there are really significant impacts, financial impacts, to poultry producers, and now we're finding in dairy. So they had the recovery fund, only state in the nation with a recovery fund to help those producers get back into business. And then you saw over the last year, back to about February of 24, it mutated. That same avian disease is now in dairy cattle. It started in Texas, went to Colorado, 16 different states, California. It's out of control. We made some really important decisions last April to put in place some quarantine restrictions for what cattle were moving, because no one really knew how it was moving, right? Birds were carrying some, employees were carrying. Really smart decision for us. And then just back around Thanksgiving of this year, mandatory testing for milk. It's not in Pennsylvania, it's not in our Pennsylvania herds. We tested almost every dairy farm in the state. And pasteurization, by the way, sort of inactivates the virus. But in other parts of the country, it's out of control. And once it starts to spread, like with the avian, it's really, really tough to contain it and suppress it. So everyday worry, we've got the funding there, we've got the systems there, working in partnership with the USDA, but a real worry for us because we're an animal agriculture state. It's about poultry, it's about dairy. So this disease hits both.
Well, I mean, we were talking about the pheasant farm too, and how that, and what they were going through their marches, and marches is known, but we have a farm right aside of there that we got to visit too, of course, Macatongo, and they supply over, I don't know what the percentage is, but it is a large percentage of the ringnecks throughout the East Coast. So I mean, we have something special here in PA, we really do, and we don't only power PA, right? We power pretty much America, right? We're really doing one heck of a job.
Well, next year is America 250, so we'll borrow the theme, right?
Okay, yeah, you get powering the United States, right? So that's a good thing. You know, I got into something the other year, and I you know, it's always something new when you get into you know, politics. But fish farms. I do a fish derby. I was talking to the guy that brought the fish out, you know, that we stocked for the kids, and I thought that was kind of interesting. You know, you don't believe this, but fish make a lot of waste, right?
They make a lot of waste.
You know, and it's another important part of what Pennsylvania is. And we have clean streams, and we have got such good things going on here, which supply what they need to raise their fish. And we have some really, really nice farms across the state.
Amazing farms, right? So aquaculture programs, great aquaculture focus at University of Pennsylvania Vet School. With some of the disease issues, they do produce a lot of waste. How do you capture that waste? I mean, some of them hydroponic systems where folks have got fish production, capture the nutrients, and are actually growing then plants, right? We see it in some of the school programs as well. What's interesting to me is that you know, fish protein is one of the largest protein sources consumed in the world. Right. We do very little in terms of fish production and processing. We do it for the sport, right? That's all good. But long play, I think about dietary, looking at protein costs, looking at natural resource issues, and I think that whole aquaculture area for us is a potential for how do we develop that like we did poultry or dairy or some of the other industries.
It is interesting. You'll see a lot of studies, on even here at Hershey Med and other places that I get to go around. You know, they're starting to do more with that, you know, with the fish and the aqua and the studies, and however that goes, it's really interesting to do. Well, I want to wrap this up, and I want to say this, and sometimes we don't say this enough, but I want to thank all of our helpers here and our workers and everybody that makes this go. I don't think anybody can realize what it takes to do this. Now Sharon does. You know,
Sharon does.
She gets it. I ran into her yesterday. I said, "You okay?" And she goes, "I'm doing fine. I'm doing fine."
She's amazing.
Yeah, she is. But what you see, the amount of animals moving in and out of here, and the shows, and the judging, and just all the venues here, it is just incredible. And I just want to thank all of our employees and those that volunteer and everybody that's here to do this. I just want to say thank you, because this is something tremendous, and it's always a great time to be here.
Yeah, thanks for expressing that. I mean, this takes a lot of work, a lot of people, right? You've got 4,000 head of livestock, you've got 12,000 competitive exhibits, you've got 3,000 to 4,000 volunteers. So just knowing that to make all of this sort of calmness, as crazy as it looks at times, work, It's about people. So thank you.
It is.
Yeah.
You know, and I didn't get to kiss the cow yesterday, but that's the new exhibit this year. So it was full. There was a long line, and it was something crazy.
Go do it
great.
early.
Yeah, how about it? Yeah. Thank you, Russell.
Happy
Appreciate
New Year.
everything.
Thank you. Likewise.